We all have a sibling who sometimes drives us crazy, right guys? A sibling who fights with us over silly things, who irritates us, who does absurd things. But the story I'm going to tell today is about a brother who crossed all limits, who did something so absurd, so incredible, that when you hear it, you're going to be left with your mouth wide open. Before we start, if you want to keep yourselves and your family safe, give it a like and subscribe now. This is very important for your protection. And get ready, because this story that happened in the United States is on another level. Alright guys, this story happened about 6 months ago in a medium-sized city in the United States. There were two siblings. Let's call them Lucas and Sofía. Lucas was 18 years old, and Sofía was 16 years old. Both lived with their parents in a house with a big yard. And like most teenage siblings, they fought a lot over silly things. Lucas and Sofía were always competitive with each other. They competed in everything, in school, in sports, in video games, over who was the parent's favorite, in absolutely everything. But the biggest competition between them was in Roblox. Both were obsessed with the game. They spent hours and hours playing and were always competing to see who had the best items. The best items, the coolest avatars. The problem was that Lucas, being a year older, always got more Robux than Sofía. The parents gave the same allowance to both, but Lucas had a part-time job at a nearby supermarket, so he earned extra money that he spent on Roblox. Sofía grew jealous, seeing her brother with all the expensive items in Roblox, while she had to settle for the basics. Sofía kept asking her parents to increase her allowance or let her work too, but the parents said she needed to focus on her studies first. That when she turned 17 like Lucas, she could work. Sofía thought that was unfair. She felt Lucas had advantages just for being born a year earlier. The tension between the siblings increased over time. Lucas loved to tease Sofía, to show her the new items he bought on Roblox, to make Sofía feel inferior. Sofía harbored that anger, waiting for the moment to get revenge somehow. But nobody imagined how far things were going to go. One Saturday morning, the kids' parents had gone out to shop and run errands. They were going to be away all day. They left Lucas and Sofía home alone with instructions to behave, not fight, and take care of the house. Both said yes, that everything was fine, that they were going to spend the day playing video games peacefully. As soon as the parents left, Lucas went to his computer to play Roblox. He was super excited because he had just bought a special package of 50 Robux that came with exclusive limited items. Just 50 Robux seems like little, right guys? But in the game, they were rare items that very few people had. Lucas was showing the new items to his friends in the game, all proud. When Sofía walked by the room and saw through the open door, Sofía stopped and stood watching with envy, seeing her brother with those incredible items that she could never have. She felt that anger burning inside. Sofía entered Lucas's room and asked how much those items had cost. Lucas, without taking his eyes off the screen, answered, 50 Robux. I got it on sale. Sofía became even more irritated. 50 Robux was nothing to Lucas, but to her it was a fortune that would take weeks of allowance to save up. Sofía then asked, half embarrassed, if Lucas could lend her 50 Robux. She promised she would pay him back as soon as she received her allowance, that she really needed those items too. Lucas laughed at her and said, not even in your dreams. Save your own money. Sofía insisted. I worked for mine, he said. She said it was just 50 Robux, that it wouldn't make a difference to Lucas, who had so much. But Lucas kept saying no. He started getting irritated by his sister's insistence. He told Sofía to get out of his room, that she was bothering his game. Sofía left the room with a lot of anger, but said nothing more at that moment. Sofía went to her own room and stayed there thinking, ruminating. It was 50 Robux. Just 50 Robux that her brother refused to lend her. It seemed like so little, so insignificant, but Lucas had refused. Sofía felt that Lucas always did that. He always made her feel inferior, always rubbed it in her face that he had more things. An hour passed and Sofía was getting more and more irritated. She decided to confront Lucas again, to find a way to convince him. She went downstairs and walked to her brother's room. Once again, Lucas was still playing, super concentrated in an important competitive match. Sofía entered the room and brought up the topic of the 50 Robux again. Lucas exploded with anger. He yelled at Sofía to get out of there, that he had already told her no 1,000 times, that Sofía was annoying and insistent. Sofía yelled back, saying that Lucas was selfish and didn't care about his own sister. The argument escalated quickly, guys. The two started yelling at each other, saying harsh things, bringing old resentments to light. Lucas said Sofía was an envious loser. Sofía said Lucas was unbearable and arrogant. The tension that had accumulated for years was finally exploding. At some point during the fight, Sofía got so worked up that she shoved Lucas off his chair. Lucas fell to the floor surprised and immediately stood up furious. He shoved Sofía back. Sofía bumped into the wall but came back at Lucas. The two started pushing each other, a dangerous game of who was stronger. Sofía, being smaller and weaker than Lucas, was losing this struggle. Lucas pushed her back easily, making fun of her, telling her, "Already lost." That made Sofía even more furious. That humiliation was too much. Sofía needed to do something to prove she wasn't weak, to show her brother that she had power too. Then Sofía, in a mix of rage, blindness, and desperation, had an absurd idea. In the house's laundry room, which was close by, there was a large washing machine, one of those industrial ones that the parents had bought because the family was large. Sofía, without thinking carefully about the consequences, without thinking about anything other than humiliating Lucas back, decided to do something she should have never thought of. Sofía pretended she was going to stop fighting. She left Lucas's room as if she had given up. Lucas went back to the computer thinking he had won, that he had put his sister in her place. But Sofía hadn't given up. She was planning something in her head. Sofía went to the kitchen and filled a large glass with water. She returned to Lucas's room, pretending she wanted to apologize, that she was going to offer her brother water as a peace gesture. Lucas, still irritated but accepting the truce, grabbed the glass and drank all the water at once, because he was thirsty from yelling so much. But guys, Sofía had put something in the water. It was just a heavy liquid mix to make him super tired. Her idea was to make Lucas feel dizzy and deeply exhausted so she could humiliate him in some way. Lucas went to the living room sofa and threw himself on it, closing his eyes. In a few minutes, he was sleeping heavily, fast asleep from extreme exhaustion. Sofía saw her brother sleeping and could finally execute the absurd plan she had in her head. It was very difficult because Lucas was big, but Sofía was determined. She managed to get Lucas's legs inside. Then she kept folding his body, pushing, adjusting. Lucas was so deeply asleep that he wouldn't wake up, didn't react, was completely vulnerable. Sofía finally managed to get her whole brother inside the washing machine. Sofía stood watching that absurd scene. For a moment, her brother curled up inside the washing machine, sleeping heavily. Sofía took a photo with her cell phone, thinking of using it to humiliate Lucas, to show it to her friends, to finally have something against the brother who always humiliated her. A year after the incident, things improved a bit, but they were still far from normal. Sofía continued in therapy. She had improved quite a bit, but she knew she was going to carry that guilt forever. Lucas was recovering from the stressful event, but the emotional scar remained. This story is absurd, guys, but it really happened. It shows us how small things, like 50 Robux, can trigger serious problems when there is accumulated resentment. Sofía didn't act like this just for the Robux. It was years of envy, of feeling less than her brother, of unhealthy competition. It also teaches us about impulse control and consequences. Sofía had an impulse of rage and acted without thinking, doing something she should never have done. Those few minutes of madness changed her life and her brother's life forever. It's a reminder that we need to stop and think before acting out of anger. And for those of you who have siblings, value them, guys. Fights between siblings are normal. Competition is normal, but it can never reach this level. If you feel resentment growing, talk to your parents, with a therapist, with someone. Don't compare your children. Treat each one as a unique individual. Sofía felt for years that she was less than Lucas, and that created a resentment that almost cost very dearly. Guys, give it a like and subscribe to stay safe with your families. This story reminds us to take care of one another, to value our siblings while we have them. Tell me in the comments, do you have siblings? Have you ever had a bad fight with them? How is your relationship? I want to read your comments. Sofía learned that the worst possible way. Don't let it happen to you. Value them, respect them, talk, seek help if you need it. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.